we were chatting about the possibility of a rematch with Leigh Wood. Leigh won the first fight last October, stopping Josh the 7th round. At the time, they're going to do it at the City Ground. It's going to be a big do because Leigh's from Nottingham. Fill the City Ground out, be fantastic. But it hadn't happened. It's gone a bit quiet. And Leigh has been saying that he would love a potential return with Josh. He would love that to be his next big fight. But he's been unhappy with how Josh has reacted after that fight at the end of last year. This is what Leigh Wood had to say.
Since the fight, I've lost respect for him. He's lost respect for me. And it's because of things he said. In my opinion, it's because of the things he said. For example, the lucky punch thing and the ref should have this, the ref shouldn't have done that, the ref should have done this, all these excuses. He should have just said, look, the better man won on the night. I did well, let's do it again. It would have been fine. But to try to take it away from him and say it was a lucky punch or the ref interfered, broke this up, then this is why that happened, that's why that happened, I was fine, I should have continued. To knock someone out and then to try and do a post about me, I just think the audacity, you know what I mean? And that's why it's been back and forth now, because I genuinely don't like him. The things he's said, the way he's gone on, there's no one at the minute that I want to punch more than him.
Wow.
Well, there we are, blimey.
Yeah, nice.
So Josh wanted
started off quite reasonable.
Yeah, deteriorated.
Yeah,
Josh wanted to write a reply, joins us now. Hey, Josh.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Yeah,
you okay?
Not bad. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, we'd all love to see a rematch because there was, just before the fight was stopped, there was a bit of an onslaught from you, and he managed to weather that and get the result, but it was by no means a one-sided affair, was it?
I mean, obviously, Leigh went on to get the win. Obviously, the fight was stopped. In the referee's opinion, I wasn't able to continue. But prior to that, Paul, I'd been boxing his head off. I think I'd won 5 or 6 of the rounds prior to that. So yeah, it just up until that point, it were my fight. And like I said, round 7, got taken away. It got changed with the referee taking the point off, and that seemed to change everything. But we were looking at a rematch, and that had been spoke about because of obviously the way that the fight ended. And I just answered questions that I've been asked, and it seems to have got under Leigh's skin.
There's some talk that he wants a larger share of the purse because he won the last fight, and there's been some talk that you're not completely happy about what he's asking for. So what about the truth in that? What's the situation there with the money on this fight?
Well, when I sit down with the promoters, they just say to me that the fight's not doable because of what Leigh's demanding, and I can only go off what they're saying. I'd happily go wherever. Now, originally, we were looking to have the fight at the City Ground. For whatever reason, North Forest couldn't do that. So, you've got to look at the next alternative, and an alternative would be one of the big arenas in the country. Now, he wouldn't come to Leeds, fair enough. Mm-hmm. But I'd go to Nottingham. But then when the promoters are looking at the figures and be able to pay him what he's demanding, it doesn't add up. So, I can't sit around and wait for him. So me and my team have been started looking around other options and other opponents because, inactivity is no good for anybody. And it's just like a footballer being sat on the sideline. And all of a sudden, he's come out, doing more and more interviews just about stuff that I've been saying for the last 5 months.
Yeah. So do you feel as strongly about him as he does about you by the sound of it?
Yeah, I think so, Paul. It talks there about myself being bitter and twisted. Well, I'm dirty Leeds, so obviously I'm going to be a little bit bitter. But it's the fact of, himself, it works both ways. Instead of himself giving myself some credit after our fight, he downplayed my, him getting outboxed. He downplayed all that, saying it was his plan to take a beating and then to knock me out in the 7th round. Like, it works both ways, Paul. You know, I've
Yeah.
always respected every fighter that I've stepped in the ring with because I know how hard, you know, the game is. But with him, it just, yeah, he seems to gloat quite a bit, and that just rubs me up the wrong way.
It doesn't hurt if the fight does happen. This sort of stuff doesn't hurt.
Oh, no,
It doesn't hurt the
helps-
ticket
helps
sales,
the
Josh.
sales.
Doesn't it really?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, there's moments when you see some people doing it, like chucking tables, you know, making it into like a WWE wrestling. But you know, I'm not about that. I'd rather let the punches do the talking. And I think that's what we was on that kind of you know, trajectory last time. We were very amicable, very respectful, shook each other's hands. But this time around, I think if it does come off, there's a little bit more needle in there, definitely.
Yeah. And just very quickly, talking of bad blood, we've got Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley this Sunday on talkSPORT at the O2. How are you seeing this one, Josh?
It's a very good fight. It's a fight that you know the fans are getting treated to. You know, normally these fights, the promoters want to dwell on them for a little bit longer and feed the careers out a little bit longer, but they're getting them matched up straight away. So it's a good fight, but I think I'm just going to pip Fraser to do the business.
Good stuff. Well, it's all unfolding live Sunday evening here on talkSPORT. And Josh, we really hope we get to see the rematch with Leigh Wood. So we'll see what he comes back with. I'm no doubt he'll be listening to this, or it'll be passed on to him, and he'll be coming back. So we'll catch up with you soon. All the best, Josh.
I hope so too. Cheers, gents. Thank you.